Hi guys, welcome to another video with Mel. Today we are talking about the Power Rangers movie reboot. I just went to see it with Chris. Really enjoyed the movie. Thought it was better than I anticipated, really. I thought the movie wasn't going to be that great. But actually it was pretty good. It was a well done movie, and I like the hints to the Green Ranger happening, that they've got the power coin, and that we've got that little scene at the end that Tommy's coming, really. So yeah, so I've been a Power Ranger fan since the beginning. Hint, Power Ranger stuff. My favorite Ranger when I was younger was Trini, always, because she was the smart one. I thought she was quite cool. I liked her a lot. But I've kind of grown as I've kind of like developed as a Power Ranger fan from reading the comics and rewatching movies. I'm actually more of a Kim fan now, funny enough. I've kind of come around to that. But yeah, so the movie itself, I think, was a pretty good reboot, actually. I didn't think it was that bad. I like the new actors. I didn't hate any of them, which is saying something, because I thought, oh, this is going to go so badly. I love the Blue Ranger. Billy is definitely my favorite of the new cast. I think he's probably everybody's new favorite. But yeah, he was my favorite. And I did actually quite like the girl that played Kimberly as well. I quite liked Kimberly in this. I thought Trini's role was a bit underutilized, so I just didn't feel like she got enough development in here. And I miss the fact that they've been promoting her as a gay character, but I didn't feel like the movie actually like acknowledged that, really. So I'm not sure where they thought they were going to be like overly gay character here, and it's like, no, there just was nothing there, other than going, oh, it might be a girlfriend problem instead of a boyfriend. And it's like, that's not really telling us anything. So I don't understand why they're trying to market that as well, because there was nothing there. I only walked out of the theater for like a minute to go to the loo, so I didn't miss anything, I don't think. The other Rangers, I think they were trying really hard to develop the Red Ranger, and I think they've got a decent development for him. I don't think he's too bad. I thought the first part with the whole, like, stealing the cow thing at the beginning was a bit ridiculous and stupid, and we could have just not had that in there at all. And the camera, oh, the spinning camera at the beginning annoyed both me and Chris so much, and that was just stupid. That was really stupid. Take that out entirely. I like the scene with Zordon and Rita at the beginning, the kind of the origin story for everything. That was really interesting. I actually quite liked Elizabeth Banks as Rita as well, and I thought her Rita was very cool. I wasn't one of these people that thought, oh, why are you taking away the original Rita and the voice? The voice is so important for Rita, and I felt it was okay. I didn't feel it was Rita Repulsa. I felt it was a new kind of character, but it worked for me, and her portrayal of that villain did work a lot. Goldar was a joke, though. No point in actually pretending Goldar was anything but, like, just a dumb monster, because Goldar is so important in the Power Rangers series, and he's like kind of like second in command behind Rita in the beginning, and to make Goldar just into like kind of like a one-off monster is just very disappointing, especially since we've had kind of some development with him in the comics and in the TV show. To make him such like a one-dimensional character is a big mistake, I think, and I don't think they can fix that either. Things I didn't like, Alpha 5. Definitely. Hated Alpha 5. Hated that look entirely. Just make it look like normal Alpha. I really couldn't get over how badly that was done. I really just hated the look of that entirely. Bryan Cranston as Zordon's fine, though. Fine with that. Was okay. Other thing I really missed was Bulk and Skull. We need that comic relief, and I would have just liked to have seen, I mean, you don't have to make the whole movie about Bulk and Skull, but I would have liked to have seen them in the background somewhere in the high school scenes, since we made it so all these kids happen to go to the same school, but they really don't know each other. So we could have just had Bulk and Skull just in the background, just being themselves, really, because they are such an important part of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and to leave them out, I think, is a big mistake. And hopefully when the sequel happens, because we know it's coming, it's been hinted at, there's definitely going to be a sequel, they will appear in the sequel, and we will get Vulcan Skull back, because they're as important as the Rangers, I think. I think they are, especially since they kind of outlived most of the Rangers on the television show and continue to be there, that it's sad not to have Vulcan Skull in there as well. This was mostly an origin story. I had no problem with that, and there wasn't very much of an actual battle in it, because I think they were trying to save money on the CG quite a lot, and it did allow them to, but by only mostly having that origin story, having the kids kind of get to know what their powers were and kind of come together at the beginning, that meant you didn't have to spend too much on a fight sequence. I think it was a very smart move by them in this present kind of movie as well. And looking back, like, at the old Power Ranger movies, they all were about, like, the team, like, getting new powers, developing new things. You always had some character that was always developing something, and they got the ninja powers in the one movie, and then you had the turbo powers in the second movie, and the young kid that became the, what was he? Was he the Blue Ranger? I think he was the Blue Ranger. Yeah, the Blue Ranger. You had the young king that became the Blue Ranger. So that's always kind of a thing with Power Rangers movies. That's what happens in them. So we should be used to that by now. The Zords looked cool. I couldn't really tell some of them what they looked like, though. The CGI just wasn't, like, defining enough for them. The Triceratops Rex Zord was fine. Kimberly's Zord was fine. The Triadatl Zord. Now, the Mastodon and the Triceratops and the Saber-Toothed Tiger, they just look like a jumble of metal to me. I couldn't get any defining things out of it other than, like, slight colors in them. They just weren't defined enough, and I thought that was a bit disappointing that we couldn't actually see them a bit better. But yeah, I still think, and I'm telling Chris this, that I think Kimberly's Zord is definitely the best one. It's the most useful of all the Zords because it flies, and so I was happy to see that in the movie. Overall, the battle was fine. The putties, I mean, they had to be different than, I guess, the original ones, because the other ones were just so comical. And it's like, I remember playing the Power Rangers game, and you just have to hit the putties, like, in the chest, and then when they had the Lord Zed ones, they had to hit them in the Z, and it's like, it's just so comical. There's like one little tiny hit and they're dead. That's the funniest thing. And when they got the Ranger suits, that seemed to be just overly too easy for them to kill them, so that was kind of something. I was going to say as well that our theater happened to have only 4 people in it. We went to the cheapest theater to see it, which usually doesn't have very many people, but that is the exact same amount of people I had in the theater when I saw the original Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie, except for it was everyone in my family and my best friend. And we got to like play Power Rangers at the front when we were kids, and that was cool because no one else was in the theater, so you could do what you wanted. So yeah, so I was reminded of that today when there was hardly anybody in the theater and I was seeing the movie. I did get pumped when the theme song came on, and I think we needed more use of the theme song, because that was where I was like, yes, yes, Power Rangers movie, this is good. The costumes, not for me. Really not for me. They look like a ripoff of Pacific Rim and Iron Man, and that was a bit too much. I understand why the costumes are the way they are, because they wanted to show the actors' faces, so they made those weird helmets so that they could see their faces, and I guess they could save a lot on CG, and they didn't have to like question who was in the suits and everything like that. We could see the actors' faces, so that kind of makes sense. And they do kind of look a little bit like the first Power Rangers movie, like kind of more plasticky costumes, but only like a metal version. But I wasn't enamored with the costumes. You guys know I love the costumes from Power Rangers Pink, and I think those are really great designs that kind of take from the original but increase them and make them a little bit better. So I think they could have used those or something similar, and they could have had a much nicer costume. I mean, because they called them armor, I think that kind of helped with the fact they looked so much like an Iron Man costume, rather than just calling them Power Ranger suits or something like that. I think the fact they referred to them as armor was a bit better. I did end up loving Rita Repulsa's outfit, though. I liked her outfit. It was so good. I miss the ponytails. Oh, I miss how Rita's original look looked like, but I did like her costume in this, and I did like how Elizabeth Banks looked. And the whole, like, going collecting the gold and kind of like her kind of recovering from being dead. I like that whole portion of it. I thought it was really, really fun. Yeah, I don't think there was too many negatives with the movie. It's just kind of like more of like stylistic choices that I think there could have been improvements, and maybe that will come for the second one, really, because as we know with Power Rangers, there's always a different way of gaining their powers. Oh, I will say the one thing that annoyed me, the constant Krispy Kreme stuff. Oh my god, could you have any more blatant advertising? There hasn't been more blatant advertising since Josie and the Pussycats, and that was a parody. Oh my god, seriously. And I know Krispy Kreme are doing Power Rangers donuts, and I have posted like on my like nerd groups I go to, oh look at these, and you can order them specially. But seriously, that is overtly advertising. Look, the Power Rangers go to Krispy Kreme. Here's Rita Repulsa eating a donut at Krispy Kreme. Stop with the Krispy Kreme stuff. Oh, seriously. And I just, I was telling Kristen there, it's like, they should have made it a Starbucks, because then, like, they could have went to, like, 12 different Starbucks in Angel Grove, and none of them would have been the right one, and it would have been hilarious, that. But yeah, that Rita just kept going to the wrong one, but, yeah, Krispy Kreme. I don't even know how much you paid for advertising for this, but you probably paid a huge amount of advertising for this, because it pays off for you. They mention you like 20 billion times. And it just kind of became the Krispy Kreme movie in places. So I think they needed to take a step back from that. They could have put like the crystal anywhere. It could have been in the school. That would have made so much sense. But then they would have destroyed the school. Oh well. Could have been in the detention hall where the kids kind of like met for the first time. That would have been really good. But nope, Sky beat the Krispy Kreme, and no one is concerned with how much collateral damage they do, because when they did the battles in Angel Grove in the TV show, it was always in a pit with Mount Fuji in the background. But now we're going to do it in the middle of town, and we're just going to destroy everything in the town, and no one cares. Oh, and I was going to mention the other thing, the cameo from the original Rangers. Oh my god, I died. I died completely, and I squealed when I saw Amy Jo Johnson, and I got so excited I kind of turned away from the screen. I should have been watching because I didn't see if everybody was there. I saw Amy Jo Johnson, David Jason Frank, and Austin St. John, but I did not see the actor that plays Zach or the actor that plays Billy in the original Power Rangers. Were they there? I don't know. I was too busy fangirling at the time. Please let me know if you did see them in there. And the other thing, I think they should have had Austin St. John play the new Jason's dad, because the actor that was playing Jason's dad just looked like Austin St. John, and you just brought him in, had him play the actor. It would have been great had they just done that, because they looked virtually identical to me. They look so similar. Speaking of similar, the pink and yellow Ranger, I found it really hard to tell the difference between the two. The girls just, the hair was too similar and their faces weren't defined enough for me, and I couldn't really tell the difference between them. Everybody else had really defining characteristics. I could tell who they were, but the two girls I really struggled with through the whole movie. Although I did like the actresses, they seemed okay. But I did struggle to tell them apart in a couple sequences and be like, oh, I thought that was Kimberly, but it actually is Trini. Who knows? But yeah, overall, like the movie, would recommend you go see it. So go see Power Rangers the movie. I will be buying on DVD because I did like it enough, and it just seems like it's a good reboot, actually. And you can't say that about a lot of movies or reboots, but it was a good reboot. I enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. I do talk about nerdy stuff from the 90s quite a lot, and comic books and movies and whatnot. So please check out my channel, subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to build up at the moment, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye. Hey guys, Mel here. I really want you to subscribe, want you to subscribe, want you to click that button below. Subscribe.